Hi there, my friends. Here I am with my inner being to talk to you and your inner being. Today I would like to share with you a little bit of what I learned with Dr. Tom Campbell. I had the opportunity to join him in kind of like a spiritual retreat. There was 3 days in Huntsville, Alabama last year in October, and I made a bunch of notes. And it was so special for me, and I would like to share with you guys. I will divide this video in a series of 3 episodes so I can share my notes from each one of the days I stayed there with him and learned so much from him. He is an enlightened being. I've been in my enlightenment journey for a few years, and today is the subject that I mostly feel excited about, which is enlightenment. I know I talk about the laws of the universe, law of attraction and everything, how to manifest your life. Those things are amazing, but what really rings my bells is enlightenment, is achieving the state of enlightenment. And I've had so many experiences, and I know it's possible, and well, that's my biggest dreaming goal today. Well, and I was asking my divinespark, my inner being, higher self, to guide me to meet someone who already got enlightened, because I was kind of tired of just, watching videos, reading books from enlightened beings, but I really wanted to meet in person someone like a master for me that would help me in my journey, enlightenment journey. And so many synchronicities happened, and I ended up in one of Tom's online retreats, and I really could have the proof that he got it. He is an enlightened one. And then I was invited to join the Huntsville event by a friend of mine, Mario, in Brazil. He translated Tom's books in Portuguese, and he is also advertising spreading Tom's work in Brazil in the Portuguese language. I have some videos in Portuguese as well, some live streams, broadcasts that I did together with Mario to share in Portuguese in Brazil, the discoveries in Dr. Tom Campbell's theory. He says we live in a virtual reality, in a simulation, and it's a more modern approach for we live in an illusion. This world is Maya, is an illusion or a dream. So I really like the way he explains it, because it's more nowadays, it's more like more modern, so we understand better. He uses computer to explain, but he knows, just by looking at his eyes, you see that he knows something you don't. He has seen things that we cannot describe. Well, so most important is sharing the notes, because the first day I cried so much when this understanding came to me. I was there sitting in the audience, listening to him. He was on stage, and finally I got it. What is enlightenment? What the missing piece for me? Because before that, I was thinking that enlightenment was about having experiences like beyond the body and, kind of spiritual experiences. But it is not. It is more about improving the quality of your consciousness, growing towards love, and abandon your fears and know that you are consciousness. Abandon your ego. That's what I always hear from the spiritual masters, and Tom is not different. He also is a spiritual master, and he says about we need to shrink our ego and grow in the direction of love. Okay, day 1. Tools are useful to quiet your mind, to train your mind, and to practice. But What really matters is not the paranormal abilities, but how much you grow in the quality of your consciousness towards love, how much you shrink your ego. That moment hit me strong. I started to cry. It was so amazing. And that's why what is the most important is not the time we spend even meditating. The most important is the quality of our consciousness during our relationship with people. It's in your day-to-day life that you show the quality of your consciousness, how you react to things, how you deal with people. That's the most important. The game of life happens every day. So don't separate normal day, normal life from spiritual life. Everything is spiritual. Everything is giving you the opportunity to interact with other consciousness and to learn a lesson, improve the quality of your consciousness, shrink your ego. Instead of going from a pattern, just decide, be present and decide to make a better decision led by love and not fear. That's what he said. Focus is not the focus is not the paranormal experiences. The focus is on love, caring, and oneness. So that's the focus. Is not even manifesting things. The focus is to increase the quality of your consciousness, to grow towards love, caring for others, serving others, and be one with all that is. The focus is to grow towards love. And then I wrote this. Now I got it. I got the missing piece for me to understand enlightenment. I was focusing on having paranormal experiences and more power to manifest consciousness. But actually, the world doesn't need to be different. The world is just the perfect way for me to develop the abilities of my consciousness towards love. That's why the relationship with people is very important, because it gives you the opportunity to improve who you are, who you truly are. Another thing that he said that is really important is that we don't need to become love. We are already love and light. We just need to get rid of our ego and get rid of our fears, because fear and ego are the main barriers to make us be who we truly are. Our essence is love and light. So you don't need to try to become love, but you do need to be aware and present to catch your ego when it's acting instead of you, and you decide, I don't like to be like that. I don't want to do that. I don't prefer to react like that. And then you choose from awareness, you choose to be different, to not let your fear decide instead of you, but to let love decide instead of fear. And in order for you to be able to do that, it is a process. It's not one thing that you do one day and you forget the others. No, it's something that you need to do every day. It's a process. You just need to be present, aware, to catch your ego when it's in action, and to notice when fear comes. And when we decide things out of fear, the decision is, it might hurt us and others, but when we are aware, we decide, we can choose. Truly, we are truly free to choose from being aware, not like in autopilot mode. Another thing that I wrote is some Tips to catch your ego in action. If it bothers you, it's because you are taking it personal. He says that ego takes things personal. So whenever you notice you are upset and it's bothering you, my ego's taking that personal. The ego takes things personal. That's why we suffer, and because of our ego. Ego is the main reason for our suffering, because ego takes things personal. He thinks people are attacking him. Ego thinks it needs to hide or to fight for its survival, and ego see danger in other people. That's why he's saying, because ego and fear, they walk together, and we need to be aware, present, and notice, and to catch fear and ego in action, trying to decide instead of love inside of us. Fear is about yourself, is ego, is high entropy. Another concept that he presents a lot is high entropy and low entropy. High entropy is confusion, fear, control, and low entropy is more organization, is more love and letting go, be one with the flow of the universe, oneness. And so low entropy is growing towards love. High entropy is decreasing, it's not growing. The only movement that one can make towards growth is towards love, not towards fear, because fear shrink us, make us lose our freedom. Love is about others, is oneness, is low entropy, freedom, letting people be who they are. Oh, not trying to control people and situations. Well, guys, I was crying so much when I was listening all this as I was making my notes. You know, life is so simple. Enlightenment is so simple. And I realized that it is a process. It's like you are in a dark room and you don't just switch on the light and it's bright light. No, it's more like, you know, a volume that you increase the level of light in the room gradually, not all at once, you know, by levels of light. It happens when you are more present, you notice, you are aware when your ego is acting, and you just decide, I don't want to be like that. I remember one day I was taking a walk with my husband, and we were just walking for exercising, and I was aware, and I noticed my ego acting. I sent a voice mail to someone in my team, and I was like, when I finished that, it was like I woke up from a dream or from a hypnotic state. I was like possessed with something that was not myself. I was like, that's not me. I don't want to send an audio like that. And then in my mind, some images of many other times that I had did the same, my ego had did the same, and in many along the years, and I was watching that, remembering everything, and I was walking in second plan. It was like another screen appeared, and I had to watch that horrible movie of me acting with my ego, and I was like disgusted. I was like, that's disgusting. I don't want to be like that. That's not me. It doesn't represent my true being. And I was like, I don't want my ego to be like that anymore. I don't want my ego. I want to let go of my ego. I was like, please, divine spark, please, inner being, please, I let go of my ego. Just take it away from me. I don't want to be like that. Please, I just want to be loving light. That's not pretty. That's ugly. That's disgusting. And I felt like there was something instead of myself leading my life. And I understood that ego is kind of like an entity that takes control of your body, of your thoughts, decides instead of you. When you are not aware, when you are unconscious, ego takes control. And in that moment, I was consciousness, I was aware, and I saw that how many times I had did the same, but it was the ego, the program running instead of me. It was an autopilot, and I said, that's not pretty, that's not acceptable, I don't want to be like that, that's disgusting, I really don't want to be like that, that's not me. And I cried so much, and my husband was like, what's happening, honey, why you're crying? I was crying, I could not explain to him what the movie I was watching while my body was walking, but my consciousness was there and somewhere else watching the movie of my ego acting when I was unconscious. And I said to him, I don't want to be like that anymore. I don't want my ego anymore. I want to be loving light, only loving light. And he understood, because this enlightenment is something that I've been studying for a few years. And so he understood. So some other insights from the first day is that the enlightened person loves, the enlightened person know we are all one. The enlightened person has no ego. The enlightened person is pure love. You can be a person full of paranormal abilities and still don't learn anything from those experiences. Most important is not having paranormal abilities, but is taking lessons and to grow towards love, towards we are all one. So one other thing that he said that touched my heart deeply is his concept of ego. Ego is awareness in service of fear. Ego is awareness in service of fear. Well, wow, that is an amazing definition. And one thing that made me so well, being close to him, to Dr. Tom Campbell, is that he takes away our fear. He says fear is not useful at all, doesn't let you grow, doesn't let you take good decisions, make good decisions, doesn't let you love. You cannot fear and love at the same time. So it's so good. If the feeling is that we are free to be ourselves when we are with him, and he's not. When you look at his eyes, you see emptiness, but emptiness of ego. You see the infinity in his eyes. You know, I was comparing his gaze with Ramana Maharshi's eyesight, his face, his eyes, the way his eyes are so deep, so profound, empty of ego, like Eckhart Tolle's eyes, Byron Katie's eyes. And I was like, I'm so grateful for being here close to him. And that one thing that I noticed that happened to me also is that my ego was gone from first day when I wrote those insights and I started to cry, and I was like, I got it, the missing piece. And then I noticed that my ego was gone totally. You know, the mental dialogue that keeps running, talking, giving opinions about everything around you, it was gone. I was just in pure silence inside of me. I was talking to people, going to places, you know, interacting in inner silence, inner peace. It was amazing. And on the third day, I think, yes, on the third day, I noticed that my mind was not talking all the time. The amount of inner talking, inner conversation had decreased drastically, and from that first day, and I had a glimpse of what is to be an enlightened person, to be awakened. Is not being unconscious and letting the mental dialogue runs your life instead of you. Be aware, be consciousness. Well, that was the first day. I still have 2 more days that I stayed there, and I made notes that I would like to share with you guys. Subscribe if you're not yet, and hit the bell notification too, so YouTube will let you know the next videos where I will share my thoughts here on my participation in Dr. Tom Campbell's event. Okay, bye bye. A kiss from my inner being to yours. See ya.